Good day, folks, and welcome to a special Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm jacked out of my mind, folks. The other day, I'm not. I hate to be this person, but I'm going to do it anyways. So many of you are blackpilled, telling me the arrests were never going to happen. I read the comments. Well, guess what? I hate to say so, but you were wrong. The arrests are coming in. First, it was one. Now it's two. There will probably be a third one by the end of this show. I'm going to make a bold prediction here, folks. We are getting the arrests we deserve. Smash that freaking like button. Chat in with where you're from, because this, my friends, is exciting news. And if you can't get excited about this, I don't know what the heck you can get excited about, folks. In fact, let me ask the question. So here, let me just tell you, Nakima Levi Armstrong arrested. Okay. Show the picture, Rebecca. She has been arrested. This is real. Okay. Arrested in the cuffy cuffs, the zippy ties. I don't care what she's in. I don't know. I can't see her from behind. I'm hoping she got the metal cuffs. She probably deserves the metal cuffs. Anyways, this is the lady who organized the riot at the church, inside the church, where kids were terrorized, kids were crying, and they interrupted the whole worship service. Now, Don Lemon is coming. Don, we might see 4 arrests by the time this show is done. Rebecca, you got to keep an eye on the breaking news in some window or something, because I'm telling you, this is going to just keep happening. Yeah, just bring it up on your phone. So we went from 1 arrest, that's Nakima Levi Armstrong, the one who thought it was a good idea to terrorize Christian families worshiping, children singing. You guys saw the kid crying, the dad comforting him, people walking out of the church, and Don Lemon saying, "This is necessary part of protest. People need to be uncomfortable," as kids are crying. What a freaking moron. Okay, last night I told you about the expose. If you didn't see it, actually, Mike Lindell was on with me. By the way, go check out mypillow.com/lumberjack. Get some of this Rev 7. You're going to love it. The mattresses are on sale. Best mattresses you'll get, and free shipping on those. So happy to have the association with Mike Lindell. 1-800-568-2865. So I had him on last night. We talked about the fact that the tear gassed baby, right, that just happened to be driving through. Yeah, they were actually there for hours. Kids left unattended in the vehicle, and she's actually been convicted of first-degree murder. And crazily enough, because it was not a federal crime and it was prosecuted in Minnesota, she got absolutely nothing after the judge handed down the sentence. She had already served 21 days or something like 28 days in jail, and they gave her that as the entire sentence for murder. Second degree, first degree. It was, this whole story is crazy. You can go check it out. I did a late night live last night. But folks, now this lady has been arrested, and she's going to face federal charges amongst the FACE Act and the KKK Act. And Timmy Walz is not having a good day because he knows they're coming for him. But I would predict that that crazy dude with the beer who can't say 2 words without throwing in an Effenheimer, okay, is going to be arrested. You saw him at the church as well. The school board member from St. Paul has been arrested as well. That was just announced. And Don Lemon is going to be arrested. And I will again show you why that. But I want to just share a video here from Fox News, because they brought up some great points. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem released a photo showing Nakima Levi Armstrong in the handcuffs after Homeland Security investigations and the FBI made the arrest. So that was a joint effort. Rebecca, play that video.
Alert, because moments ago, remember that church incident on Sunday in Minneapolis? The AG Pam Bondi posted this. All right, I'm reading now. Minutes ago, at my direction, HSI and FBI agents executed an arrest in Minnesota. So far, we've arrested Nakima. So far, okay, we'll come back to that. So far, we have arrested Nakima Levi Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. We will share more updates as they become available. Listen loud and clear. We do not tolerate attacks on places of worship, end quote. I want you to react to that, Paul. But on Monday, Trish McLaughlin was on with Dana and me. And part of her answer said, I think we will be seeing mugshots very soon. She was tipping her hand that arrests were on the way.
Pause that for a second, Rebecca.
Yeah.
So, Rebecca, you had notified me that actually the St. Paul school board member was arrested as well. So they were talking about this arrest, but basically implying that more were on the way. And so now we already know, again, folks, just remember this, a second arrest has already been made. I am predicting number 3 and 4 might just well happen today. And so for all you doomsayers who said that I was, off my rocker and that we weren't going to see the arrest, and I can already see people in the chat, blackpilling, judge will let her go. You don't understand. This is not Minnesota. This is federal charges. Okay. She's going to be convicted. Because it's all there. The evidence is there. It's all too solid. It doesn't matter what the left says right now. We have the footage thanks to Don Lemon, who implicated himself and her. All right, play the video again, Rebecca.
And, look, there's going to be very, very little that they can do in defense of this because it's on film. And for once, they didn't cover their faces. Now, here is the thing that's going to come out of this. You have her under arrest. Now you're going to get the communicates. And this is where it starts to spider web out. You start to see who's talking to who showed up in regard, including Don Lemon. How much did they all know going in? That imports things like conspiracy charges, which can be quite heavy.
Pause that again,
civil
Rebecca.
rights, criminal civil.
I mean, do you guys get how big this is? I mean, so we are now moving from FACE Act, KKK Act. Now we're going to get conspiracy charges. This is also, once you get those communications, this is going to help us find the money trail, folks. Come on, folks. In the chat, please, how many of you fully get how exciting, how vindicating, how lovely this is? We have been pushed around, silenced, censored for so long during those Biden years. Every social media platform, including this one, shutting us down, striking us, demonetizing us, all of that. And yet these people were allowed to run around and do whatever they wanted, even when they were in clear violation of the law, when ours actually was protected speech. Oh, folks, this investigation is going to get so good. I mean, you need to understand, I'll bring it back in. I talked about this a little bit the other day. She's raked in almost $1 million in the last years. Organizations giving her more than they gave out in grants. Keep playing the tape, Rebecca.
Rights charges that are implicated in the church incident.
This is also because one of the things that we found out about that was that they were targeting them because they were privileged white supremacists.
We talked about that earlier in the week. Not only did that come out in the video and that they said something like that in the church, but then after the fact, it talks about exactly that, putting a racial overtone in the whole thing, which potentially could import a hate crime. So,
folks, I mean, so the charges just keep getting better. Now we're moving to hate crimes. Okay, this has so long been used against white males, and the whole thing's ridiculous. And now we are seeing that this can be actually utilized in the way it should be when actual hate crimes are committed. I think hate crimes are crap anyways, folks. Okay, let me just say that real quick. Hate crimes are BS. Y'all understand that? Okay, if you commit a crime, it's usually out of some act of hate. Like if you murder someone or if you do something like this, it's because you have hatred. There shouldn't be additional because of hate. It's already in the crime itself. So whether that's the FACE Act, KKK Act, conspiracy charges, whatever, the hate's already there. We don't need to go charge them more for hate. I mean, the hate, like somebody murders somebody. Well, obviously they had some hatred in heart, folks. Okay. It's ridiculous. The hate speech laws are the stupidest things ever. But this is, I am just so jacked up right now. And especially because I feel severely vindicated because so many people told me this wasn't going to happen. And I'm like, no way. They've got it all on tape. It's all there. Don Lemon recorded it for us. They were proud of this. Again, please smash that like button, folks. Let's get this stream out there to a few more people. I also want to mention my trusted partner, folks. Look, I want to look at some fake news here today. Okay, we're going to show you how news media reports on stuff because always talking about that because we always have to combat that narrative. So I warn you about fake news all the time. But what's even more fake so often is our government, okay? The Medicare industry itself. And that's why I love the folks at Chapter. That's why I'm so proud to partner with them. Okay. Chapter, whom you can give a call at 832-761-2660. The average savings is $1,100 on Medicare plans. These things are confusing. They're costly. Chapter is independent, not big government, not big insurance. They look at all the plans. And again, average savings of $1,100. The typical call is 20 minutes. So think about that, $3,300 an hour. Let me ask you in the chat, how many of you are making $3,300 an hour right now? If you can make a call like that and save that much money on product you're buying, and do you know what the great thing about savings is? The government hasn't figured out how to tax you on your savings, only your earnings, but it's like you're earning because it's money you'd spend anyways. Folks, this is a triple win. Okay. And you're helping the show on top of it. 832-761-2660. Okay. Some of my people are saving $4,000 a year. Michelle was saving $2,000 a year. One of my other people said $3,000 a year. And some people are just getting better plans for the same money. So big stuff happening at Chapter. Give them a call at 832-761-2660. All right. On to the next piece of news. We're going to go to this one. I want to show you this. This is a video of Governor Tim Walz yesterday. Now, just pull the video up on the side there, Rebecca, right now. And I just has the still screen. I want you to look at this. He looks like he's shouting from behind a prison wall. This is the gates at the governor's mansion in St. Paul. I used to live right on the Midway. I was really close to the governor's mansion. It's on Summit Avenue. But look at him with his bullhorn addressing the crowd from behind the fence. His little fence there. I mean, it just looks like he's from a prison, but he is scared. But listen to what he says, okay? Paul Zabula said it looks like a mental patient with a gate, okay? Listen, this is nuts.
Served on the China Commission in Congress, ironically enough, as co-chair with Marco Rubio. We used to bring in Chinese political prisoners, and we would ask them, when we speak up and call out your government, is it bad? And they said, well, in the short run, it's bad because they torture us. But if you don't speak up, they will torture us and forget about us. And it is right now is we have to be speaking up. We have to call it out. You are doing everything, and our neighbors are doing everything. And I can't stress enough on this. We're winning it because we're doing it with Minnesota grit, Minnesota humor, Minnesota decency. Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance. The resistance matters. We're not telling people to be silent, but we're not telling people to go out and cause problems. We're going to cause good trouble.
Pappy's comment is the best. He's trying to look like a lumberjack, but is failing. That's right. Notice he's wearing my lumberjack plaid. Timmy always tries to do that. Okay. But he is basically, this is so deranged and dangerous. Okay. He's basically calling for political violence. He is saying that we are like China. That is the most ludicrous statement. We don't do forced sterilizations. Trump isn't running around and arresting people for their social media posts. It's absurd. This isn't Europe. Okay. Europe is a complete communist cesspool right now. But anyways, I want to go to the next post. That's Harmeet Dillon. And she said now too. Okay. So this is dealing with, and we'll get to her in just a second, but the school board member. So just imagine how bad this is. A school board member in St. Paul was also at this quote unquote protest, which was really a riot in a church. But then somebody, Ava, on the first comment says, let's make it 3. I'm not going to play this guy's audio. Like I say, he cannot say a word, 2 words without throwing in the Effenheimer. He's just a dork, honestly. And, you know, he's got his F Trump hat and everything else, but he's going to get arrested. Don Lemon's going to get arrested. I think we're going to be up to 4 here in short order. I don't know if that's going to be today. Then you're going to watch the liberal media really melt down because they're going to circle the wagons around Don Lemon. Tim Walz has got to be crapping his pants right now. He's realizing that the administration isn't screwing around. Let's go to the next post. This is Liz Collin. We'll get into a little bit more. Career protester and activist Nikema Levi Armstrong has been arrested. So this was Pam Bondi's statements minutes ago at my direction. HSI, HQ, and FBI agents executed an arrest in Minnesota. So far, we have arrested and I just love that, so far, because more are coming. We have arrested Nikema Levi Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul. She has to use the word allegedly, but we all saw the video. We kind of know what's going on. Listen loud and clear. We do not tolerate attacks on places of worship. Here we go. Here's the next one. Update: a second arrest just below that post. A second arrest into custody. More will come. She is the school board member. Can you just, Rebecca, just grab her name and do a search on the internet? Find out a little bit more about that gal as we're going on here. And then, and you don't need to pull that next post up. I'll just tell people what it says. But Nakima Levi Armstrong's pinned Facebook post where she tagged Don Lemon. I showed you that yesterday. She said, friends, here's a clip of our demonstration this morning at City's Church in St. Paul. David Easterwood is a pastor at this church and the acting field director for the ICE office in St. Paul. Big deal. The church isn't an ICE church. The church is a church. It's a gathering of believers. I'm sure people in that church have different beliefs about different things, okay? Now, that doesn't mean like, okay, so if you're going to be a believer, you actually have to believe the words of the Lord. Where people are getting so confused and mixed up on this is, see, judgment and the sword comes from the government. You as people are supposed to be open-hearted. So if you see an illegal immigrant, you don't need to be nasty to them. Okay. I've met them. I'm nice to them, but I'm not going to stand in the way of an agent conducting a law enforcement operation, because whether they're nice people, it doesn't matter. They've broken the law by being here. Y'all get this, right? Okay. So you deal with people individually. The government deals with people as collective masses are breaking the law, and they have to enforce justice. See, governments build walls. People are not supposed to. And we get this backwards all the time. It's really kooky, okay? You know, like, well, we need to protect our peace, you know, my peace, my peace. Okay, Jesus is your peace. You don't need to protect your peace. So this is when you go into this thing like this, it's the I don't know. I've got a note here. I can't even read it. I don't have my glasses on from there. But let's see. Oh, wow. They've met each other on I've got a long driveway, folks, and FedEx and Superior Fuel have met each other on the hill. Are they stuck? I'm going to actually have to go help FedEx and Superior Fuel out here. How exciting. I'll just finish this up real quick, folks. I want you just to play that next video, Rebecca, where Pam Bondi, and I want you to see the kissy kiss that Don Lemon gives this lady, who he really had no prior knowledge and involvement of. Check this out.
How are you?
Good
to see you. We're on. How are you? Good to see you. You're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, you know, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways.
Oh my gosh, folks. So that's what's going on there. Jacob Fry, just go to the next one real quick, Rebecca. Jacob Fry has already posted, this is a gross abuse of power. The federal government is picking and choosing who to investigate, going after protesters and not the person who shot and killed one of our neighbors. I'm calling for Nakima to be released immediately. Not going to happen, Mayor Frey. Frey, whatever your name is, you and your ilk are not going to bust the law anymore. So, folks, it's great news. Want to thank you for joining me. Sorry, I got to cut it short, but I got to go help some people on my driveway. And I thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode, folks. Peace out.